ask her out the first time? Because you thought she was pretty, or because you thought she was nice, or what?
Oh, that's a hard question. Probably both. Probably both. Uh, we always got along and danced and talked, and she was kind of shy. And at Fremont that night, I had a car, so when they stopped to dance, change squares, I asked her if I could take her home.
So did you get a kiss that night?
I think I did kiss her goodnight then. I think so. Mom would remember that for sure, but I think so. I think.
So tell me how you asked her to marry you.
It was cold.
It was in February. That extra day they always have, and Dad tried to get me to ask him.
Talking and like this, and just kind of asked her, I guess. But she didn't know quite what I want, I guess, at first, or what I was leading up to, but I don't remember what she did say, but she said yes, I guess.
Well, will ya? Marry him.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. You know what I said? I didn't even say I will. I just said there isn't anybody else I like better. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the proposal.
Got married a week before my 19th birthday.
So what do you remember about your wedding day?
The wedding day was hot. Oh, it was ungodly hot that day, all afternoon. You had to get married in the morning, like Mom said in hers, at 9 or 9:30 or 10:30 in the morning. And we got married in the morning, and then we went and had pictures taken at the studio. And then we drove from there out to the house, and they had a couple neighbor ladies fixed the lunch.
It was real windy that day, real windy. And we was out in the front yard taking pictures where you can see on our way, how windy it was that day.
I was probably 5 or 6, and we were back at the field behind the house, and Dad had me driving the old John Deere with the hand clutch, pulling a wagon of grain up to the house, and he was driving the tractor with the combine, and we got up to the house, and Mom come out and just raised all sorts of heck with him about letting a little kid drive the tractor by himself, and I'm going, be quiet, Mom, be quiet, I like driving this tractor. It's like you're ruining my fun. That's one memory I have. We are there.
Some of my earliest memories are walking out to the barn with Dad when he was doing chores and holding on to his little finger and being amazed that his hands were so big, and him throwing me up into the air and catching me in the kitchen of our house.
I'll never forget the time I received a crash course training in driving Dad's brand new stick shift red truck, and proceeded to take it to a party at Bowling Green. Since I had a truck, I was designated to go pick up the keg. The keg rolled around in the bed till I got back to their place. So, returning home after my fun weekend, feeling horrible, confessing and showing Dad what happened. It was amazing, the patience and control of his anger, and did not yell at me. But of course I was grounded.
school one afternoon, you smiled and said you had a surprise for me. You held out a sack. What could it be? You smiled, a twinkle in your eye, a gasp. Mary Angel, my doll, restored to me after its dog encounter. How many hours did you labor restuffing and sewing her body back together? You did it for me, and I thank you.
There was this time that we took it upon ourselves to fill our bikes with gas. No tank for gas, but it went all over the ground, and Dad found out, of course, and Chuck and Dan and I were hiding in the cornfield, and Dad was looking for us, and Chuck got caught first. Sorry about that, Chuck. He got whooped and had to do the dishes, and Dan and I, when we got caught, we had to dry, but we didn't get whooped, so we were glad about that part. Dad probably figured Chuck was the ringleader.
My favorite memory of Mom is when I was a little girl and Aunt Joanne, Don's wife, had given her old coat, and Mom took the coat apart and was laying the pattern out to make me a coat out of the fabric. And she couldn't figure out how to do it, and for some reason I told her, couldn't she turn this piece of pattern around? And it worked. And she told everybody about that for the next week or two, how I figured out how she could make my coat out of that material.
Who was bringing up three very lovely girls, all of them had hair of gold, like their mother.
I love Dad's surprise trips on Sundays. So many times we would leave church, and instead of heading home, we'd go to a restaurant or Dairy Queen, or on a long trip through Ohio to some ghost town or Indian place. That was a lot of fun. We never knew where we were going to end up.
That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch.
I remember when we were kids, Dad would come home from work out of the blue, say, jump in the car. We'd have no idea where we were going, and we'd end up at some little dive truck stop corner ice cream place for dinner.
I remember making frozen corn with Mom when we would have to freeze the corn, and we were like a well-oiled machine. We would be blanching or whatever we had to do with the corn cobs and bringing them to Mom, and Mom would be just running those corn cobs through that cutter and filling the bushel baskets of cobs.
And my favorite memory of Dad was when we were little, and he would take a different one with him when he would take a load of grain up to the mill. And they had a machine with gum and candy bars and things in, and he would give us a nickel or whatever it cost to put in that machine, and you had to wind to get the window, to get the candy to appear in this window, and then you hit a button and out it would fall, and we just thought that was the coolest thing, to get to go to Dad to the elevator and to get candy or gum.
But I do remember the time that they wanted us to wash the van, and so we all were out there washing, and we were running into some spots that we couldn't get off. So Mom always used SOS pads, so we thought that it's good enough for her, it's good enough for us. So we got SOS pads, and boy, we cleaned that car up good.
Going anywhere with you in the truck was an adventure. Every errand was exciting, from going to a store to visiting the dump. You took time to explain how things work. Sometimes you'd stop by an apple tree, even if it was a bit underripe, and say, go ahead and pick one, girls. Or best of all, the whippy dip. By the way, Dad, I'm still amazed at your knowledge.
I remember one time getting dropped off by a date, and he peeled out of the driveway because we'd had an argument about something, and going and sitting beside the garage there, too embarrassed and upset to go in the house. And after a little while, Dad came out and sat down beside me, and I don't remember if he said anything, and I guess words weren't that important. It's just what I really remember is that Dad was there.
I remember the car ride to visit Uncle Roy and Aunt Nancy in Kansas. Dad took a wrong turn, but it was the best time. It was like riding a roller coaster up and down the hills.
Once when I was about 7, I think, I decided to run away from home. And I cannot remember at all the reason why, but what I do remember is Mom coming up to talk to me and listen to whatever my complaint was and convince me that she would miss me so much if I left home. And it just made me realize how much she loved me and that I did not want to leave.
Broke my knee at work. That's sat around the house. That's when I got to thinking about building a house.
Skyscraper. In this challenge, the contestant must use index cards to build a tower 7-story high. Each level must consist of 2 folded cards on end and then with a flat card on top. Precision is critical, as the smallest mistake will bring the house of cards down, forcing the player to begin again. Failure to complete your tower means you're no Donald Trump. Finish by stepping back slowly and creating a letter T, the next letter in Annette's name. Do not talk or laugh too loud, you will blow your house down. And no blowing anybody else down. No huffing and puffing. In 3, 2, 1.
There's time.
I gotta watch the technique. Well, I get to watch.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, watch the techniques and you can learn from their
We
mistakes.
keep forgetting that John's job. We should have
Yeah,
thought about incorporating that.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
He's participating in it.
Let's encourage him. You can do it. You can do
Why are
it.
they all trying to do it the same way?
You can cut the air with a knife.
What, do they have to do it like that? Oh. Yes, sir.
The tension is building as the towers get higher.
Oh boy.
Breath control. Is that the yes?
Start again. It's okay. Start again.
John, did you fire me?
Oh.
7.
We've got 4 stories.
I wouldn't put them apart like that. I'd put them
Angela's
together.
on 5
No, you want to take
stories.
this one of them apart.
That'd be fun. Let's wait.
Annette's on 5 stories. Will her tower stand?
It looks wobbly.
Oh, and
You can say that again.
Oh, I think we're going to have to name Angela Trump.
Oh no. Oh no. Goodbye.
Oh boy.
1 more story. Oh, and that's coming up though. Look at that. They're both at 6. Only 1 more story.
She plays too much Jenga.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Start again in it. Start
And
again.
Deb is on 6.
Feels gonna take a while.
What does the judge say?
One more.
Oh.
It's between Dad and Angela. Dad came from behind after knocking his house.
What am I doing? You need 1 more card.
It's still standing.
Go blow it. Blow it bigger, bigger, bigger. Bigger, bigger. Come on. Do it like Tom.
I got to eject a balloon.
Uh-oh, baldy balloon. Come on, come on.
Diane has good sound.
Cody. Yeah, yeah, Cody.
Hold it.
Cheating.
Hey,